Hey everyone, welcome to a special bonus episode of Locked On Lakers. Brian Kamenetsky, Andy Kamenetsky. The Lakers lose in San Antonio, playing without Anthony Davis. How long is he going to be out? That's next.
You are Locked On Lakers, your daily Los Angeles Lakers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks to everybody for making Locked On Lakers your first listen of every day, Monday through Friday, no matter how or where you get your podcasts. Always free, never behind a paywall. Locked On Lakers on YouTube is where you can hang with 22,000 angry subscribers. Lakers fans who are real annoyed with the Lakers for losing on Friday, 129 to 115. They help end the San Antonio 18-game losing streak, Andy. I found the thing that was more annoying than the annoying victory that they had against the Spurs on Wednesday. It is, in fact, more annoying to lose to them on Friday.
I mean, I guess you sort of bookended what was a disappointing 72 hours in San Antonio, or as most people call it, just being in San Antonio for 72 hours.
Dang. Shots fired.
Honestly, San Antonio did.
At the Riverwalk.
Honestly, San Antonio didn't deserve that. I went to San Antonio a couple times to cover some Spurs games. I actually kind of like the city. They didn't deserve that at all. My apologies. That wasn't nice.
You're just mad. You're angry.
I am.
The
You're
Lakers
right.
Lost 129 to 1. There's the thing about it too. It wasn't like some sort of close game.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Most of that state, Texas, does suck, but San Antonio doesn't deserve that.
Lovely people.
I don't
129
for the other part.
129 115. Don't get me started on Florida. Is the final score of this one, and the Lakers playing no Anthony Davis. He was out nursing that hip injury, but also playing without Cam Reddish and without DAngelo Russell. So the Lakers down two critical defenders and one key playmaker. In that sense, Andy, I wasn't surprised they got off to a bad start, 42 to 22 after the first quarter. Maybe a little surprised it was quite that bad, but I expected the Lakers to start slowly just because you are recreating your defense without important players in the fly, and you are also recreating your offense without one of your primary playmakers, which, if you have bad possessions, can impact your defense.
And you know what? It's not even just that you're recreating. I mean, the defense was a mess the entire game.
I think you could argue it was never really recreated.
Right. As our friend Harrison Fagan from Silver Screen and Roll, friend of the show, tweeted out, like, the Lakers should just be putting together clips of all games Anthony Davis doesn't play to help him campaign for Defensive Player of the Year.
That's right.
Because my God, they're a mess.
It'd be the first time the DPOY reel doesn't include the actual DPOY.
Yeah. Just be like, look at these headless chickens running around and look at them with Anthony Davis. But like the other part of it, though, like AD and D'Lo, beyond what you miss from them in terms of scoring, and in the case of D'Lo playmaking, and in the case of Anthony Davis being this focal point down low, you also miss a lot of just the rhythm of how they typically start a game, because they often establish things with Anthony Davis taking the most shots and DAngelo Russell setting him up and looking for AD more than anybody else on this team. So beyond just trying to replicate or replace or just survive without their individual skill sets, you're just completely out of rhythm for how they normally look to establish tone and build over four quarters.
So with that in mind, like I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a parent, maybe it's, I'm willing to go with the flow here. I'm willing to accept a little bit of adverse circumstances for the beginning of the game. The Lakers, though, to their credit, and actually what I sort of expected to happen, got their bleep together in the second quarter. They won the second quarter by 13. At one point, they got to within 4, and they finished the half down 7. And I said to myself, okay, this is going the way I expected it to. They tightened up the defense. They found a little rhythm offensively. I think after the half, the Lakers will do what they're supposed to do, which is come out, continue to eat into that San Antonio lead, and eventually pull away and win the game. That didn't happen. And that, to me, that third quarter, where almost instantly San Antonio pushed that lead back out to 12, 13, 14, that was really, as Mom would say, that was disgusting.
I mean, they only won the quarter, San Antonio, by 4. So it's not like it was that lopsided in blowing everything wide open, as much as the Lakers needed to make a definitive stand during that third quarter. And like you almost wish that, even though this team, we can talk about this, they are clearly tired, and they've been, without going into excuse making mode, pretty open about the fact that they're tired.
I we'll talk about this more probably for Monday. I put it out there, the other day. Like, my concern about the in-season tournament was potential fallout, and since then they have played two very lousy games, one fairly lousy game, gone 1-2 on a road trip, and have had multiple injuries. Yeah. So,
it's not good. But what I was going to say, though, is you almost wish, even though they're tired, that the first half could have gone on another 5 minutes, because it's the rare time where a tired team, I don't think, is actually well served by getting that halftime break. Yeah, I think they actually would have been better off just continuing to
play. But you're right. They didn't lose that quarter by a lot, but the difference is, then now you enter the fourth quarter down double digits, and and it just, they needed to finish that third quarter down 2, down 4, down 3, or whatever it is, or hey, how about that? How about winning? But the way they came out in the following halftime, having had the opportunity then to have played the half, to get a little bit of a feel for what that lineup, and the Lakers starting lineup tonight was Taurean Prince, LeBron James, Jaxson Hayes, Austin Reeves, Max Christie. I'm not sure that group's played together in practice, let alone in a game. And even San Antonio can take advantage of that if you get guys who just aren't on the same page. But
say what you will about San Antonio, they at least know each other. Right. They're like playing in the normal rotation that they go with. They have more continuity in this sense, like more immediate continuity, if nothing else. Like, the Lakers looked like a team that was extremely disjointed. Like, there were some good individual performances, but as a group they looked terrible.
I mean, look, LeBron had 23 points, 14 assists, 7 rebounds, 7 of 17 from the floor. Not great. Austin Reeves had 22 to go along with 7 rebounds, 4 assists. It looks okay on paper. 8 of 18, not great. They really didn't get much, particularly while the game was in question, from Hayes and Christie. I think Christie had a late bucket. Was 0 for 5 most game, hit his last shot. Rui was very strong off the bench, 20 points, 8 of 15, but he missed all 5 of his free throws. Christian Wood missed 5.
All 5 of his 3 points.
I'm sorry, all 5 of his threes. Christian Wood had a stretch where he missed 5 free throws in a row. So it's stuff like that when you look at, the box score doesn't look bad. 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a couple blocks, 2 of 5 from 3-point range, but 5 missed free throws in a row is both hard to do, but also, particularly damaging in games like this. It's the little stuff that even guys who had, like you say, fairly productive box scores had holes in the quality of play that were really significant.
Yeah, and we can talk about this more for Monday's show, but this is a hard game to have a ton of takeaways from. Right. LeBron said afterwards, this team is not built to be down 3 starters. And if you're looking for constants over the first 26 games, it's that when they have their full team or close to it with LeBron and AD, they are very good. When they are missing guys, they have had problems. And LeBron continued to express what seemed like sincere confidence in this team when they've got the full, allotment of players. But if there is a takeaway from this game that I think is concerning, the drop off at center behind AD, obviously it's going to be big because Anthony Davis is one of the best centers in the league. So the drop off behind him for most of the league is significant. But Hayes and Wood just have not found a consistent, I think, comfort zone and role and purpose. Like Jaxson Hayes had 5 fouls basically within the first half of the game. Like he was sitting on 5 fouls with 10 and a half left in the third quarter. And Darvin just kept him in because I'm sure a part of him if he picks up the 6, he picks up the 6.
Right.
Like, what are we going to do? I've only got 2 guys.
Yeah. I mean, not that I'm not getting into rotation questions on a night where you're missing 3 starters.
I mean, it was an unusual decision, but there was also part of it
there are times actually when I wonder if Castleton is worth giving a try in games like this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the Wood thing is something we can kick around this week, but it just hasn't clicked. Even on not like tonight, where on Friday I didn't think it was bad.
No, I don't think so either.
But it's awkward. It's
extremely awkward. I don't think Hayes or Wood is. I think they're both trying to do exactly what they're told to do. They both seem like they're playing hard. They both seem like they are trying to embrace their roles, whatever. But it has looked very difficult to find something consistent for either one of them.
Right. And I think Hayes looks more comfortable in the role that he's playing. And I think generally, but it's also it's a very small role when everybody's healthy. We'll kick this all around a little bit. Obviously, it's an extraordinarily disappointing loss, even if it's not one that is indicative necessarily of the quality of the team. It's still a loss against a team that lost 18 flipping games in a row. And like I said, I would have expected the Lakers to just play more solidly coming out of the half and give themselves a chance to win. To San Antonio's credit, they shot the ball extremely well. Devin Vassell, 36 points, 5 of 10 from 3-point range, hit all 7 of his free throws.
Career high for Vassell.
Yeah. Spurs were 43% from 3, 90% from the line versus the Lakers 30% from 3, which was under 30% until Demoy Hodge hit a late 3, and only 64% from the free throw line. They missed 10 free throws in this game, which obviously had a huge impact. So we'll unpack more of this. It is a costly loss. There is no question about it. Lakers continue to play very lousy basketball away from the crypt, and they are going to play 3 of their next 4 on the road. So they'll be home Monday and then right back out. They basically do long enough to do some laundry.
And not an easy road trip either.
Not at all. All right. More to come on Monday. But before we go, Andy, first we must tell people about this.
Well, that Locked On Lakers is brought to you by PrizePicks, the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports platform in North America. And instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you can pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stats projections and just watch the winnings roll in up to 25 times your money. And obviously, basketball is in full swing. There's been an IST tournament. You can now pick combo projections across football and basketball blended together with a specials league created specifically for projections that include 2 or more players from different sports. For example, you could go with LeBron and Travis Kelce at a 10.5 combo of 3-pointers made and receptions. Plus, with the PrizePicks reboot policy, your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. This is huge for NFL games, NBA games. If you have a player who exits the game in the first half, does not return in the second, that player gets rebooted. PrizePicks is the only daily fantasy sports platform with injury insurance. So go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA, all lowercase, and use that code LockedOnNBA, again, all lowercase, for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, prizepicks.com/LockedOnNBA. PrizePicks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Andy, Locked on Lakers is also brought to you by FanDuel. The weather, it's getting colder. We've definitely reached sweater weather here in Los Angeles. I have been wearing my beanie hat because it's getting chilly out there. But the NFL offers, Andy, they are staying red hot on FanDuel right now. New customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's $150 if your team wins. I'll tell you what, that'll warm you up no matter how cold it is. So if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. It's easy to use the app, wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/locked-on and kick off the NFL playoff season. That is coming right around the corner. Get yourself ready for that. FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL. We'll see everybody on Monday.